Those of you that don't know me, I am Rob Allen.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Myers coming at you from beautiful Hawaii.
Sailing for power here in beautiful sunny Queensland.
Strick here from Back to Basics.
Hey, I'm Adam Stern.
Hello you guys, this is Justin Lee over on the Big Island.
I'm Dimos. Hello from Greece.
Howdy, howdy.
My name is Tim McDonald.
Bird sushi tonight.
Hey, this is Joe PK.
Simon here from Australian Spearfishing Academy, and I'm just isolating in my shed.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm sure like many of you over the past few months, you've just been staring out the window waiting for the day that you can go spearfishing. It's led me to go looking through my old photos, old videos, and I thought, you know, if I would have known this at that moment in time, I probably would have been able to get that fish. So I decided to throw this question out to divers all over the world. What do you wish you were told when you first started spearfishing? And I also asked, what advice would you give to someone just starting out spearfishing? I learned so much from making this video, and I'm sure you will too.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Myers coming at you from beautiful Hawaii. I hope everybody's staying safe during this quarantine. And one thing I wish someone had told me before I started diving was to rinse out my ears after every dive. I spent weeks and weeks of my life in locations all over the world with awful ear infections, and all I had to do was a simple rinse, 50-50, rubbing alcohol and white vinegar, and that would have been solved. And my one piece of advice for new divers is to slow way down. Slow down while you're on the surface, slow down on your descent and ascent, and slow down while you're hunting on the bottom. I guarantee you guys will shoot more fish, you can stay down there longer, and you'll get way, way better, higher percentage shots at wary fish that you never would have seen before.
Hey, I'm Adam Stern. I'm the Australian freediving record holder, and I have dived over 100 meters deep. I started spearfishing years after I'd been training to freedive. So what I wish someone taught me when I first started to spearfish was how to actually hunt. I think that everyone just assumed I'd be this incredible spearo because I could dive so deep and hold my breath for so long, but I had no idea how to hunt. I wish that I had spent the time really learning how fish behave and how I should behave around them. On the flip side, something that all spearos need to do every now and again is ditch the gun and just go for a dive. We make the biggest improvements in our actual diving ability when we're inwardly focused. And when we're swimming around with a gun and looking for fish, we are not inwardly focused, we're outwardly focused. So every now and again, you've got to ditch the gun, go for a dive, develop your actual diving, and it will make a huge impact on your spearfishing.
So guys, hello from Greece. I'm Dimos, and Daniel had a question for me. So I have been spearfishing for over 2 decades now. And the one advice I wish I was told would be, and paraphrasing what Peter Parker said, is that with great time underwater comes great catches. And when I say time underwater, I'm not talking about your apnea time on each dive, but all the time you spend during your life searching for fish and being underwater. It's time that brings fish and not your diving capabilities. Because even if you don't find fish, you watch the fish movements, the smaller ones, and you learn from them. You observe their behavior and you become a better spearo, even without catching a fish. So my advice to a new spearo is this: try to spend as much time as you can in the sea. The fish will come, and if you see it that way, you will dive safely for many, many years. And you will be happy with what you get each time.
G'day, Dan the man. Thanks for reaching out. Strick here from Back to Basics. Coming to you live from the Great Barrier Reef. Just out having a bit of a sunset trail to pick up dinner. And we did just that. But mate, thanks for the questions. Great idea. First question, what bit of advice did I wish I was given when I first started spearfishing? This one is really simple for me, mate. This is a no-brainer, and it would be that it is very, very easy to black out underwater while spearfishing. We had a bit of a scary incident when we were first started to get into blue water stuff. My best mate and dive buddy at the time, Az, blacked out underwater. If you haven't seen that footage, I made a documentary on it called Exhale on YouTube. Basically, Az blacked out underwater, I managed to recover the body, and for a period of time there, basically had my best mate dead, unconscious in my arms, and it was, mate, I wouldn't wish that feeling upon my worst enemy. It was horrible, and it all sort of happened too easy. We were very lucky that day that we managed to get Az back to life, and he's still kicking on. But unfortunately, you know, the reality is that kind of happens every year to a few divers that don't come back. So there's my bit of advice that I wish I was given. And now, a bit of advice for some new spearos starting out. This one I had to think a little bit about, and what I reckon for new spearos starting out, get a group of mates, all start together, and don't pester people about where the best spot is or where you should go. Just enjoy the total journey of learning to spearfish together, pushing your limits together safely as a team. And because every time you work up for a new species and a new fish, if you're all in it together with a group of mates, that first time you land that first coral trout, it's like the best thing in the world, and you share that stoke with each other. Like, I still remember when me and my dive buddies then leveled up and we started chasing red emperor. The first red emperor we got, man, I've never been so happy. So, and then that moved on to Spanish mackerel, you know, that first fish you get, all the way up to dogtooth tuna or whatever your pinnacle is. So that's my bit of advice. Get a good group of mates, all get into it together for the safety factor, and then enjoy the journey of learning and getting better at spearfishing. Don't try and rush it.
Hi, those of you that don't know me, I am Rob Allen. I was contacted by Daniel to try and give a bit of advice to new spearfishermen out there, something that I wished I'd known when I was beginning spearfishing. To put it in a little bit of perspective, I started diving nearly 40 years ago, and that time there was no social media where you could get information, no forums, no magazines. My nearest dive shop was nearly 2 hours away, and all the gear I had to make myself. There was obviously many things that I wished I'd known when I started. But one that stuck in mind the best was I found constant changes in my diving ability from day to day. Every time I dived, there was something different. I could dive well one day and not so well the next. And eventually, on a day when I was really battling to get down with really good fish all around me, I worked out that the night before I'd had a massive barbecue and really eaten way too much. And as soon as I learned that, I was so impressed how easy it was to improve my diving. And still today, a lot of people are not that aware of how much diet affects them. And it does affect different people different ways. But for me, I try and stay away from anything fatty, very light meal the night before, and preferably nothing during the day. Obviously, if you're diving the whole day, you're going to have some nutrient. But for me, I take nothing. And that's why my dives are really short, sometimes only 2 or 3 hours.
Hi, my name is Tim McDonald. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. And what I really wish someone had told me when I first started spearfishing is I wish they impressed on me how important hunting was compared to diving ability. I've had to learn, and my advice to all new spearfishermen and all people new to the sport is to learn to hunt. That takes time. That takes writing down things that you've learned. That takes remembering everything that you see. That is way more important than learning how to dive well. Diving well comes with time. Diving well comes with just being in the water and learning to be comfortable in the water. But if you can learn how to hunt, you can study fish, study species, study their behavior, study and remember what you see and what you observe, you'll be better for it. So that's my advice. I wish I'd been told that, and that would be my advice to young divers.
What is the one thing I wish I had known when I was first starting out spearfishing? This would definitely be tides, okay? A proper understanding of tides. Obviously I knew the tide comes in and it goes out on this 12-hour cycle. This is the vertical movement of water, but this isn't what I needed to know more about. I wish I'd known more about tidal streams, okay? And this is the horizontal movement of water, parallel to the coast. You need to understand tidal streams if you are diving from a shore and if you're diving from a boat. It's of equal importance, possibly more important if you're diving from a shore, because if you get caught out on a tidal stream, it's going to take you where it's going to take you. And the worst combination is if we have a tidal stream, the wind picks up against the tide, we end up with some big chop, we can end up in a seriously bad situation. To the person just starting out spearfishing, I would say, please learn about how tides work. Learn about tidal streams, spring tides, neap tides, tidal coefficients. Have an understanding for how the water is moving, because otherwise one day it might just take you away.
Oh, hi. Simon here from Australian Spearfishing Academy. How you all doing? Now, what is one thing I wish I was told when I first started spearfishing? To equalise on the surface just before you dive. It really helps.
What advice would I give to someone just starting out in spearfishing? When you put on your wetsuit, you're wearing a uniform, and you're now representing all of us, the Spearo tribe. So your actions and behaviour, both in and out of the water, reflect back on us all.
Hello, you guys. This is Justin Lee over on the Big Island. I know this is maybe got you is a little confused on who I am, but Corona-19 or COVID-19 got me growing the stash. If there's something that I wish I was told when I was younger on what some advice that I could give is to spend all my money on the most comfortable mask that I can afford. Because at the end of the day, that is what really counts, is to make sure that your mask is good, sealed. No matter who's wearing what or what is what, make sure your mask is super, super comfortable. But the second thing that the man asked me to share is some advice for someone starting off. And honestly, the best advice is to keep it fun, to keep it light. You know, the best diver out there is always the guy that's having the most fun. I said before, I think what's crucial at someone that's starting off is enjoy each step. Really, really enjoy each step. Enjoy the struggles. Enjoy not spearing anything. But just truly enjoy being out there, being in the water, you know, and you're always going to have a blast.
Something I wish I was told earlier, but what I eventually got told was to get on the same level of fish or below fish in the water column. Once I did that, I thought I had superpowers. Like, I was just able to get so close to fish, and fish were also so attracted to me. It just made everything so much easier. Advice I would give to someone starting spearfishing, probably to leave your ego at the door. I think spearfishing lightheartedly and like you're ready to learn is just so much funner. You pick so much more up, you get a lot better doing it that way. I think that goes for, you know, 1 day into spearfishing all the way up to 40 years into spearfishing. Like, there's always stuff to learn, and that's the beauty of it. It's such a journey, and yeah, I think you're going to have a lot better time doing it that way.
What is the thing that I would like to hear that somebody would told me when I started the sport? And the thing is, I, of course, would be very happy if somebody would tell me, you're gonna meet many people around the world, you would have a lot of friendship, you're gonna meet amazing Danish gangsters, Norwegian gangsters, all kind of stuff. But the main thing is that if I would heard these things when I was young, I wouldn't believe any of those things, because I couldn't believe this kind of stuff is possible to happen in my life. All this spearfishing, going deep, going down, going night, going a day. I couldn't believe this. Going to the lake style, going to the Mallorca style, Africa style, reggae style. I wouldn't believe that. So, I'm happy that nobody told me that when I started the sport, because I wouldn't believe anything. Okay. And what I would tell now to somebody to start the sport, and the main thing is that spearfishing, the culture, hunting, competition, party style, bacalao style, Norwegian style. The main thing is, the main thing is that do this immediately with your family, with your friends, with your wife, with your boyfriend, with your children. So don't keep it by yourself. Take your whole family with you. Take your children again to fish. Take your wife or your boyfriend to hunting. Give you raw fishing, angler fishing. Do that together. Make it the whole family business. That's been the best thing for me. I took my wife, my children. I forced to my children. I take them to the boat and we started fishing. Now we are eating amazing dinners with some nice, you know, the style, fishing, rowing, put into the freezer, all this stuff. That make our quality whole family much better. It's not like me, I'm going by myself fishing. I take my family with me. That's the style, Take your family immediately with you to this amazing sport. This is a family business. Bacalhau!
Hey guys, so sailing for power here in beautiful sunny Queensland. So we've got a few questions today from Dan the Man.
What did he say? What is the one thing that you wish you were told when you first started spearfishing?
Definitely just getting comfortable in the water. More than anything, I think that's the most important thing when you are starting out. So there are a bunch of ways you can do that. You can get into like even ocean swimming. Obviously snorkeling and freediving are going to be amazing. Just getting out there, spending as much time in the water as you can and getting comfortable.
I wish someone told me to slow it down a bit when I first started. You know, I was always had a limited breath hold, and I always thought, oh, if I can get down there fast enough, you know, I've only got this little window to go and get that fish or hunt, and everything was a rush. And I think it's the total opposite that I should have done. If someone told me to slow down, it would have made things a lot easier. I like to always think, if your car's running out of fuel, are you going to step on the gas to get there faster? No, you're going to take it easy and you're just going to cruise there and just hope that you don't run out on the way. That's how I like to look at all my spearfishing these days. So yeah, slow down.
What advice would we give a new Spearo today? And for me, that's an easy one. That would be pay attention. Pay attention to everything. When you're in the boat, pay attention to how people are gearing up, dropping the anchor, what you can do to help out. Once you're in the water, pay attention to your setup, your float line. Is it tangled up with someone else's? Do you need to make sure it's untangled? Are you ready to dive? Then once you're diving, it would be, are you paying attention on the bottom? If you're seeing a fish, what's it hanging around? Why is it there? Trying to learn what to look for when you're hunting. All of that comes down to paying attention. So paying attention on the boat, if you do the right thing, you're going to get invited back on boats again. If you're paying attention underwater, you're going to shoot the same fish consistently over and over again. And yeah, that's probably my top advice. Pay attention. It's the best way to learn.
What piece of advice would I give a new Spearo? Definitely get yourself a good wetsuit. If you don't have a good wetsuit, you're going to be cold, you're going to be uncomfortable, and all your diving will just start suffering and compounding all from that one problem. You know, if you're shivering, you're wasting energy, you're thinking about being cold, you're over it, you're not relaxed. Going back to what Jessie said in her question, you just need to be comfortable and relaxed. You know, the more comfortable and relaxed you are, the better your diving's going to be, and that all starts with a good wetsuit.
Alright, we're going to end it here because I am getting absolutely soaked, and yeah, see you later guys.
When I first started spearfishing, I wish someone would have told me when you're getting out of a wetsuit jacket to put the hood on. If you leave it down around your neck, it tends to choke you out, and I was getting choked out and my hair's ripped out for years. I dreaded getting out of a wetsuit, but if you just put the hood on, it makes it so much easier to get out of the jacket, and it just peels right over your head. You keep all your hair intact. It's a beautiful thing. The advice I would give to someone just starting out spearfishing: dive everywhere. Dive in different parts of the country that you live in, dive in different countries. You will meet different people and you will learn skills that are transferable across different seas and different oceans, not to mention the lifelong friends you're bound to make. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you got something out of it. I know I sure did. Massive thank you to all the people that contributed to this video. Do me a favor, go check out the links in the description, check out their Instagram, check out their YouTube. You're bound to learn a bunch more. I'll see you on the next one.
I wish the first thing that someone would have shared with me from the guys before, my old school partners, is how many women would be flocking to spearfishing. It's crazy. I mean, my spear gun sometimes at the end of a dive is like a bat. It holds them back. I mean, they come flocking and they come running. It's pretty scary. And if you guys don't believe me, just look at how beautiful some of the women are that were with the spearfishermen. Daniel Mann's freaking wife or girlfriend? Partner. Sorry, I don't know if you guys are married or not. Partner. Gorgeous. Look at Giannis Sedaris' girlfriend. Gorgeous. Look at my wife. Sexy.